Bear Brothers Caroline is imperfectly perfect. It's a 1948 3100 that spent its life in Kansas and wears a patina from layers of paints, sun, and weather, topped with a gloss clear coat. It's on powder coat matched Raceline Classico billet wheels with Bear Icon branded center caps wrapped in Nitto Invos. With Holly headlights, the beautiful chrome brightwork is perfectly contrasted by the matte cleared black walnut. Under the power-actuated bed floor is a Roadster Shop spec chassis, which has a bag-on bar setup outside the frame rails. Ride-Tech shocks, a strange rear end, Viair compressors with AccuAir management, all framed by the painted and bead-rolled panels. In the bay, an LS3 with Brian Tooley Racing intake, Holly valve and coil pack covers painted deep burgundy to tie in with the rust in the patina. It's mated to a 6L80, a custom-built radiator cover with an overflow canister, and Bear-branded cap, Eddie Motorsport billet aluminum hood hinges, custom hood latch, and Bear brakes. The amazing interior is covered by Moore & Giles leather, including the 59 Impala wheel mounted on an I Did It steering column. Dakota Digital RTX gauges with a custom Bear icon in the dash. The Snowden seat is covered with a unique honeycomb stitch pattern, which is also carried throughout the metal mesh speaker grills, door panels, the back of the seat, and the headliner. It has Apex square weave carpet, vintage air with aluminum vents, a low-carb mid-height floor shifter, a Bluetooth stereo, kicker speakers, power windows, and push-button start. An American auto wiring harness ties everything together for ease of installation and reliability. Caroline won the Raceline Wheels Choice Award at the Lone Star Throwdown. This sick 1967 Chevy C10 pickup is owned and was built by Terry Wise with a ton of custom metal fabrication. It was painted by Stephen Jones of Precision Auto Body in Lufkin, Texas. Under the hood, which is held up with these sick All-American billet hood hinges, houses an Edelbrock fuel-injected, naturally aspirated 555 cubic inch big block producing 750 horsepower, mated to a 4L80E transmission with a strange 9-inch rear end. Wheelwood disc brakes bring the truck to a halt. The intake plenum and radiator cover have carbon fiber accents, and the carbon fiber theme continues to the bed floor, with flush painted strips adding contrast. The interior was designed and completed by Chris and his team at Mobile Toys Inc. in College Station, Texas, with black leather, carbon fiber accents, and LEDs throughout, and a Billet Specialties formula steering wheel. Blue Bayou is a 1968 Chevy C10 owned by Sam Landis and built by Slicks Fab Shop. It's finished in this stunning PPG bitchin' blue paint and rides on an Acme chassis with Ride-Tech suspension, forged line wheels wrapped with Michelins, and Willwood disc brakes. The custom bed, front valance, and engine bay were all built by Slicks Fab with EVOD Industries grille and headlight bezels. In the bay, a pro-charged LS3 mated to a Performance Automotive 4L70E with 2.5-inch stainless Borla exhaust. The one-off interior was designed and installed by MTI with Dakota Digital gauges and vintage air. It won the Promoter's Choice Award at the Lone Star Throwdown. John Von's Star Wars-themed 1963 Chevy C10 VonSolo was built by Arizona High Test Tre 5 Customs and painted by Ikandy Paintworks with trim by Clayton Machine Works and custom billet badges. GSI modified these billet handles to match the Ring Brothers mirrors. The bed, hinged by LS Fabrication hinges, uncovers a GSI chassis, Viair compressors, tank, manifold, a carbon fiber drive shaft by Drivetrain Industries, and exhaust. It rolls on Scott Throttle D wheels, wrapped with Michelins, and 14-inch Bear brakes with VonSolo logos. Under the hood, a Don Hardy Racing 376 LS with a Legacy intake setup. The interior was done by Elevated Design, with Snowden seats covered by D-Bomb 53. Muncie Speed custom carbon door panels, custom VonSolo branded Dakota Digital gauges, and custom Sierra coated pedals by HRC Coatings. Venom is this slick 1967 C10 built by Jason Vannatta. The cool thing about this truck is that Jason manufactures and/or sells almost all of the custom parts you see on this truck at VannattaFabrication.com. It has custom bumpers, Union Pacific headlights, grille molding from LMC. The underhood LEDs are Geetons from Amazon. The front has a Porterbuilt Level 3 front drop member with 1-inch narrowed Porterbuilt control arms, and the front Billet Specialties hydros are 20 by 10s with 6 inches of back spacing. It has 2018 Mustang GT 500 mirrors with sequential turn signals and B&CO door handles. The paint is covered with Eastwood satin clear. The rears are 20 by 12 with a 3.5-inch back spacing, bolted to a 54-inch rear end. The taillights and bezels are LEDs from Illumicraft, and the wing is by Vannatta. In the back, a Boyd Welding fuel cell, Porterbuilt back half and frame stiffener powder coated by SureCoat, LS Fab hinges, dual Viair 425 compressors, and aluminum 5-gallon tank with airlift 3H management, and a QA1 drive shaft. Flush mount glass from Fessler, and an aluminum bed floor by Smoky Road Rod Shop. Under the hood, Porter-built hinges, a 6.2-liter LT1 mated to a 10L90 transmission, Holley manifold with MagnaFlow mufflers, American Auto wire harness, custom Douglas Machining Services valve covers, and cold pack relocation brackets and valve cover adapters from ICT Billet, a 2020 Chevy Cruze fan shroud, and a Carbon X brake booster. The TMI interior has a Spark Industry steering wheel mounted to an I Did It steering column with custom Vannatta Fab levers, Brothers one-piece glass with New Relic power windows. The console is a kit that Vannatta makes, and the subwoofer enclosure is available at sloshtubs.net. It has vintage air with a Gen 5 evaporator and a shifter out of a 2020 Ford Ranger. For those of you who knew Josh, you'll recognize that his family brought his chaotic rods and customs built 1967 Chevy C10. It features Brothers one-piece glass and Clayton handles, a chop and block back half, 24x15 Scott wheels, AccuAir E-Level and XO mount, a Boyd welding fuel cell, and Viair compressors. Marquez designed taillights and Fessler flush mount glass. Under the hood, switch suspension hinges, Willwood brakes, a 6-liter LS with a Holley intake mated to a 4L60. The Sublime Heights interior, with tunes from the Car Audio Garage, looks great with Dakota Digital HDX gauges, a Budnick wheel mounted to an I Did It column. Watson's vents for the vintage air are mounted in a custom-made hush panel, and it has a matching headliner. The truck received the first ever Josh Coleman Memorial Award at the Lone Star Throwdown. We ran across this rad 68 GMC in front of the US Mags booth. It was built by Complete Customs with some help from Freeman Fabrication. It has a ton of metal fab and is finished in Silver Ice Metallic and Gloss Black. Out back, Bedwood's Carbon Series with hidden tub flanges. Under the hood, a Texas Speed 408 stroker engine paired with a Magnuson TVS 1900 supercharger and Wegner accessory drive kit and valve covers. It's riding on 22-inch slasher concaves with Willwood disc brakes. The Uniboss is Billy McSwain's 1962 Ford F100 Unibody. The fabrication and build was handled by Roger Lynskey at APL Custom, and the paint and body work was done by Greg McSwain. It's riding on air ride suspension by Porterbuilt, Scott SLGS concave wheels, and Willwood disc brakes. In the bay, a Ford Racing 5.0 Coyote mated to a 3-pedal 5-speed Tremec. The custom leather interior, done by Sean Cook of Murphy, Texas, has a minimalistic vibe. It features Dakota Digital gauges, vintage air, and airbag management. It received the Police Officer's Choice Award at LST. Tom's 1964 Chevy C10 is finished with Axalta paint, with the bumpers and grille by Atlas plating. It's rolling on Detroit steel D-Towns, 20s in the front and 22s out back, wrapped in Toyo proxies from Diamondback Classics. The oak bed is stained with the fuel cell relocated beneath. Under the hood, an LS3 with a Magnuson supercharger, tuned by Pat G, produces 648 horsepower to the wheels. It's outfitted with paint-matched cold pack covers, aluminum radiator, and Willwood brakes. Check out this Chevy. Man, does that red pop, and the bright work is exceptional. It has an oak bed with flat stainless strips, dual Viair compressors, RideTech Shockwave air springs, Scott Mod 5 wheels with Corvette brakes, all-American billet hood hinges. But look at this engine bay. The firewall is completely smooth, the inner fenders are clean. The LS has a Dell's kit for a legacy look with a Holley EFI, a billet front runner, and a PRC radiator. The interior is totally custom with leather and Alcantara, a smooth dash with Dakota VHX gauges. It's a beautiful truck for sure. This sweet C10 is finished in dark gray with blacked out trim. It's powered by an LS with a Turbonetics turbo, Holley EFI, and high ram intake manifold with a 102mm throttle body. It's riding on Raceline Scoundrels. Inside, stitched leather buckets with a custom console. Out back, the leather fenders are a cool touch. It rides on a triangulated 4-link with air spring shocks. Click this video to see more badass trucks.